my name is Jare Buckley Cox, and I lead Walmart Fulfillment Services. And I'm excited to be here talking to all of you about how we can accelerate our businesses by reimagining what's possible. So I'll start and talk a little bit about my story and why this topic hit so close to home for me. So I actually grew up in Southern Oregon in a small rural town. And I actually grew up in a single parent family and with my mom and my two older brothers. My mom was an elementary school educator. Money was very tight. The weight of finances was never far from my mind. And I didn't really have an idea of what I wanted to do with my career, right? I thought, well, I'll probably just be a teacher because that's what my mom did, right? I didn't have a picture for anything else. I couldn't imagine myself doing something different. So I graduated from high school and went on to college and thought, well, maybe it'd be kind of cool to be a history professor, maybe a professor of economics, right? So I fortunately got started, and I did a practicum in my sophomore year. And what that meant was I got to go and spend 8 weeks, once a week in the classroom, actually serving like what you'd think about for a student teaching environment. And I quickly learned that I do not have the patience to work only with students that are highly motivated and interested in the subject. I think we'd all agree that is not the heart of an educator. But I felt a little bit stuck because I only had scholarships and loans to be in school for 4 years. So staying longer and figuring something else just wasn't an option for me. So I thought about the people in my life and the influence they had on me to help me reimagine a path different from what I'd always thought. And the person that came to mind is my gram, who you get to see here. I was fortunate that we moved closer to her when I was younger after my parents divorced. And she had just a powerful influence on my life. She was strong, she had a great work ethic, and she was no nonsense. As a matter of fact, she had a really big job. At the time, she actually managed all the nurses at a really large hospital down in Los Angeles. And she's told me a story once that really influenced my life and how I thought about, like, thinking bigger, being bolder, reimagining a path. Back in the day when my gram got pregnant with my mom, women weren't expected to work and actually frequently were asked to quit their jobs while they were pregnant. When my gram got pregnant with my mom, announced to her superiors that indeed she was pregnant, that's what they told her. She needed to quit her job. And my gram refused to accept that. As a matter of fact, instead she went home, got out her sewing machine, and she sewed herself her own maternity uniform. Reported back into work and told her superiors she had no intention of quitting. As a matter of fact, she was going to stay working up until the last day she could. The good news is they didn't fire her. She did get to stay working up until a few weeks before my mom was born. But what I took from that story, again, was I had an opportunity and a choice to make. I could, challenge the status quo, right? Or I could go with it, or I could have that, again, the courage to reimagine a new path. So that's what I did. I actually got off the teaching track. I graduated with a history degree, a minor in economics. You'll see as my story unfolds, this has nothing to do with my career today. But I quickly got a job at Equifax managing bad debt. Okay, bad debt was not very glorious, but it was a paying job, and that's what I needed. But I took two things with me to that job that I knew I could bring. Number one was a strong work ethic, and secondarily, a willingness to learn. And quickly, I found myself leading a team of people, and it changed the trajectory of my life. I learned that I love managing teams. I love inspiring people to do things that they didn't know that they could do. There's one thing I've learned as I've been at Walmart, that more and more of the quotes that Sam Walton gives actually reflect my own personal beliefs. And he had a quote he once said about it, that if you expect great things of people, they'll expect great things of themselves. And I've found that to be so true. You get a group of people together that have a diverse background, different kinds of skill sets. You inspire them to do something different. Take a risk, take a choice, and expect great things of themselves. And that's indeed what they will do. So I'll tell you a little bit. Some of you might have read a little bit about my background. You might know, but I'll share a little bit of maybe what you didn't know or couldn't find online, and ultimately what brought me to actually Walmart, to build Walmart Fulfillment Services. When I first got the call from Walmart, I had been at Amazon for over 8 years. I had gotten to do some amazing things at Amazon. As a matter of fact, one of the things I did, I spent a lot of my time building what we call the post-purchase delivery experience. Think, if you've ever shopped on Amazon, think from the moment you hit the buy box up until the time you successfully receive your package, your refund, or a replacement, and every experience in between is what my scope was. And I own that globally. So things like owning your account, your orders. As a matter of fact, when I first built the team, you couldn't even track your package on a mobile device. So maybe remember when the green bar animates and shows you your package? Other things you might be familiar with that me and my team launched were things like photo on delivery, live map tracking, things that gave customers more control and visibility over the status of their delivery. So when Walmart first asked me to come and talk about this vague idea about how could they use their supply chain capabilities to accelerate the expansion of assortment beyond groceries, I was intrigued. At Amazon, we watched Walmart carefully. They're a formidable competitor, and we saw the quickening pace of innovation coming out of Walmart. But at the time, again, I was happy where I was. I had a really good career going. I was well known amongst our executive team. I'd been in lots of meetings myself with Jeff Bezos. So to get me to leave, I always thought it had to be something so compelling I couldn't say no to. So when Walmart again asked me to come, I thought a lot about that, and I was intrigued, so we kept talking. I knew it would be this huge personal risk. I was with a company that was well known in the space, and so I thought, could I reimagine myself doing something different? But ultimately, there were two things that convinced me to leave Amazon and this career I loved, this executive team I was well known, and the scope of things I got to do. And it's because there's two things in Walmart that are so distinct and unique. Number one, it's the mission of Walmart. Our mission is to save people money so they can live better. That may mean just putting nutritious food on your table, roof over your head. Maybe that means diapers on the baby, right? Maybe that means taking your family on vacation. Maybe buying a car, maybe buying your first new car. Maybe that means paying for college or buying your first piece of luxury luggage. I love that calling that we have, and it's deep and embedded in everything we do. The second thing I love about Walmart is that Doug McMillon, the CEO of Walmart, has a quote, and he describes our culture as being people-led and tech-empowered. I love that because it resonates with my own value set. People create all value, and all value comes from people. So Walmart Fulfillment Services became the job I couldn't say no to. And here I am, and I've never looked back. And I couldn't have imagined that I'd be standing on a stage talking to you guys all about that today. Right? Some of you may be familiar with the story of how Walmart was founded, right? It was Sam Walton back in the 1960s. He opened his first store at Ben Franklin, and then actually opened his own store, a five and dime, in a little town of Bentonville, Arkansas. I think at the time it had about 2,000 people in it, right? And he built the company on a strong foundation of this idea that you could get the lowest price anytime, anywhere, right? And we call it EDLP. Other things that Sam Walton did that created this retail revolution, the idea that you could buy anything that you wanted under a single roof. The idea that you could use technology to manage your inventory, have your own distribution channel, and lots of other things that he did. He was dedicated to making a difference in the lives of customers, and today Walmart is making a difference in communities all over the world. But part of living better is not just about saving money. We believe that's about saving time, giving people time back to invest in the people and in the life that you love. I'll tell you a little story about how I benefited from Mr. Sam's mission long ago. When my husband and I first had our two young daughters, there wasn't a Walmart in our local town. So every month we'd go and drive about 4 hours to go visit my gram, and who you got to meet a little bit earlier on the screen. And I'd leave my girls with my husband, and my grandma and I would pack up, and we'd go to Walmart. And we'd end up spending a couple of hours there, and I would stock up on all my household goods. I'd buy all my baby things of diapers and formulas and bibs, and then lots of things we'd discover that I didn't know I wanted, or didn't know I could actually find. And we'd come back and I'd have the back of my car filled up. And it was then that I benefited from that mission, because as a young family, we were like many. We were motivated to stretch every dollar and maximize every minute. And I personally benefited from his vision all that long ago. So let's talk a little bit about the Walmart of today, maybe the one you're not as familiar with. First, if anyone wants to take a guess at how far the closest Walmart is. You might think 10 miles, you might think 20 miles or something. But the truth is, the closest Walmart is actually right here. It's the one in my pocket. Even though okay, I thought this was going to be a kind of a clever thing, but now I got to tuck my phone back in. But even though 90% of Americans live within 10 miles of a Walmart, actually the closest one you have is on the Walmart app, right? The Walmart app allows customers to buy anything they want, anytime. You can have it delivered by, a pickup. You can go pick it up. You can have it shipped to your home. You can actually have it delivered. You can have it delivered same day, within a few hours. Lots of things so that customers can buy anything they want and however they want it to be delivered to them. Okay. Let me talk a little bit about the fact that most customers, I realize I'm a little behind on the slides. It's a little hard when it's behind you here. But a lot of people ask me, well, what's the Walmart strategy? Where are you guys actually headed? And the truth is, we've learned over the last few years is we've made the transition from being purely analog to more of a digital company. It unlocks the opportunity for a lot of new businesses, which is why we're expanding in our health and wellness businesses. Walmart's expanding into data monetization and into financial services. We think of that like a flywheel, and it's a kind of our strategy on a page, if you will, and that's the business that we're building. Again, if you knew Walmart before and thought about it as just a brick and mortar store, we're so much more and have expanded into so many things since that time, right? So let's talk a little bit about our customers, right? I don't know if you know that 89% of people in the US shopped at Walmart last year. That means 9 out of 10 people in the country shopped at Walmart, either in our store or online. 41% of shoppers that shopped at Walmart in the last 12 months shopped at least once a week, either online or in our stores. 58% of the US shopped at walmart.com last year, right? That's just a lot of scale and a lot of customer reach that Walmart has. And the other thing that people ask me a lot is, well, who shops at Walmart? What does a Walmart shopper actually look like? And the reality is, a Walmart shopper reflects the American shopper demographic. People that shop at Walmart range across the entire economic strata, age, ethnicity, right? Where you actually live in the country, variation. The Walmart shopper is the American shopper, and that's what it looks like, right? A few other things about who our customers are is I'm gonna tell you a little bit about how we're changing the face of retail and the amount of innovation that Walmart's driving. Let's watch a video and take a look. Has an awful lot of innovation taking place, right? But as the company has changed over the last 60 years, our customers have changed, some of our business strategy and business model has changed, but two things haven't changed at Walmart. Number one, it's our mission to save people money so they can live better. And the other thing is our actual integrity, our values that are so important to us. And the reason that matters is because we also expect brands that work with Walmart to also believe in our same mission, right? We want them to believe in our same values. And you need to be a brand that also cares about creating value, not just for customers, but for the world as well. And we require that kind of a match to work with Walmart, right? Some of you maybe have your own personal experience with Walmart. Maybe you and your family shopped at Walmart every Saturday. Maybe you or have an organization that you give your time or your money to in your local community, and maybe they've benefited from a Walmart community grant, right? And some of you may only associate Walmart with low prices. If that's the case, I'm gonna let you know that you've got a far outdated understanding of who Walmart is and what we do, and a very incomplete picture, right? So I'm gonna talk a little bit about how does Walmart help accelerate the lives of our associates that work at Walmart? How do we accelerate the communities that we serve and work in? How do we actually accelerate the planet? And how do we help accelerate businesses grow? And we're gonna start with how do we accelerate the lives of our associates at Walmart? And it really started when Sam Walton had a great partner to build Walmart with, and that was his wife, Helen. It was actually Helen Walton's idea that we actually give profits back to our associates. And so it was her that spawned the idea of the hourly profit sharing program that's still in place at Walmart today. And we're focused on creating a ladder of opportunity so that people at Walmart can build a career. One of the things that really struck me coming from Amazon to Walmart is how many people I meet that go, I've been at Walmart 12 years, 15 years, 30 years. I was shocked when I went to my first Bentonville meeting and I found people, we were doing retirement. Congratulations. Nobody is retiring at Amazon. You're just like worn out or something else happens that you leave. But it was phenomenal to see how the longevity and how people build a career at Walmart, and it was something that made me really proud to be here. Approximately 75% of our salaried store or supply chain management all started as hourly associates in the company, right? Walmart stores above entry level are almost all filled by internal candidates. In fact, Walmart made 300,000 promotions last year in the company. Think how big that number is. 300,000 people earned a promotion at Walmart last year. And over the last 6 years, we've raised our starting wages over 65%. If you've seen an interview with Doug McMillon, maybe on Squawk Box, maybe on CNBC, you've probably heard him give the quote that we love raising wages, right? But we think of a starting wage as just that. It's only a start. Our associates have the opportunity to earn quarterly bonuses. We offer 401k contribution plans and financial services. And we offer benefits for both physical and emotional well-being. And we're especially proud of a couple years ago when we announced the Live Better You. It's where Walmart pays 100% of college tuition and books for qualified associates so they can live better. So when we say our mission is so people can live better, we don't mean that just for customers, but it's our associates as well. Not only do we take care of our associates, but we also believe that for businesses to last, they have to be able to create value not only for shareholders, but for the world as well. Back in 2005, Lee Scott, the CEO of Walmart, made a commitment to being much more environmentally sustainable. There was bold commitments that made at the time, but since then we've reimagined what's possible, and Walmart has dedicated itself to being a regenerative company. Let's take a look at what it means to be a regenerative company. Roll the video.
At Walmart, everything we do is for people. We're using our strengths to help people live better and preserve the planet. We believe all people should have access to sustainable products they can afford. That's why we're committed to improving the sustainability of key commodities by 2025. We believe businesses should respect human rights and people should have the opportunity to fulfill their potential. That's why we're committed to sourcing responsibly, helping prevent forced labor, promoting the dignity of women, and creating inclusive economic opportunities. We believe climate change is one of the greatest challenges of our time. That's why we're targeting zero emissions in our own operations by 2040 and engaging our suppliers to avoid a gigaton of emissions from our supply chain by 2030. We believe all people should live in a cleaner world. That's why we're committed to eliminating waste in our own operations and working with our suppliers to recycle more and use less plastic. We believe healthy natural resources support healthy communities. That's why we, along with the Walmart Foundation, are committed to helping protect, manage, or restore at least 50 million acres of land and 1 million square miles of ocean by 2030. By doing all this for our people, for our communities, and for future generations, we're committed to becoming a regenerative company dedicated to placing nature and humanity at the core of our business.
A lot more that you can learn after you read our ESG report, but the fact that we're committed to restoring oceans and forests, and it drives so many of the decisions what we do, and Walmart scale gives us an enormous opportunity to impact our planet. At Walmart, we're also deeply passionate about giving back to our communities, right? You see this picture you might be familiar with. It was actually back in 2005 when Hurricane Katrina hit the Gulf Coast, thank you. This actually, you may remember, there were 2,500 trucks stacked up and waiting for the roads to open with $18 million of supply to help that. Last year, between the Walmart org, which is the philanthropic arm of Walmart, and the Walmart Foundation, we gave support to Western states that were ravaged by wildfires, for Midwest states that were ravaged by tornadoes. We give about $1 billion a year. $1 billion a year in cash and giving in areas that we think we can do the most good. Right? So we've talked a little bit about how we help our communities that we serve, how do we accelerate our associates' lives and then the planet. Let's talk a little bit about how Walmart helps accelerate businesses. We got to hear a little bit from Kristen Bell earlier about the impact Walmart had to help them launch their business of Hello Bello, right? A little bit here, you may not know that 230 million customers actually across 24 countries, across 10,500 stores and e-commerce sites, shop at Walmart every week. In the US, 150 million customers shop in Walmart, right? And we have about 2.3 million associates helping enable all of that purchasing. So when we think a little bit, I told you earlier about being a people-led but tech-empowered organization. You may have heard we just announced that we're actually opening 4 next-generation fulfillment centers that offer the very best in artificial intelligence, robotics, and machine learning so that we can deliver products at the lowest price, at the fastest speeds, with the highest safety record. There's a lot more that we're doing to invent to help customers get anything they want at any time that they actually want it. This brings me to one of Mr. Sam's business rules. He talks about great ideas come from anywhere. Our associates, our customers. In my world, that means we listen to our brands and sellers that sell on Marketplace. We love taking in their feedback. You influence our policies, you influence our roadmaps, you influence our processes. It's been my vision since I came to the company that we would be a platform built for sellers and by sellers, that we would differentiate ourselves on the sense of trust and transparency and partnership. We've been so deliberate to create a highly curated community of professional sellers working alongside Walmart to build a marketplace that you can grow your business and that you have the flexibility and control that's over that. We have an opportunity to hear from actually one of our sellers. I'm going to invite George Hatch to the stage to talk about how Pattern has helped accelerate their business in partnership with Walmart. George, come on up. Oh, there you are, I had to find you. Hey.
Thank you, Jare, for letting me come up and share the stage with you. I'm going to continue on the theme of the opening video of celebrating those who accelerate us, the quiet geniuses with steady hands. So first off, I'm going to give a shout out to the entire WFS team, and I apologize now if I miss anybody, but Aaron, Laura, Eric, Vomsy, Jim, Adam, Aparna, Melissa, Ian, and especially Jare.
Thank you.
Have put up with us through a year of pilot. We were lucky to be one of the pilot sellers for Walmart Fulfillment Services launch. And so we're able to work with their team for almost a year, before we could even talk about it. We're building out reporting, APIs, how are we gonna ship inventory in, going through all of the hurdles of new product launches, fulfillment center expansion. And really, I think the best thing for us was the partnership. The fact that we were able to reach out and continue to provide feedback on how do we set up items correctly. Initially, we had to set up items 2 different ways, both setting the item up within Walmart Seller Center and then converting it so it was eligible for Walmart Fulfillment Services. We worked with the team, we were able to iterate, and fairly quickly, it was a single setup process that really helped us reduce time as well as complexity as we're launching new products into the marketplace. We worked with the multi-channel fulfillment launch, which is something brand new for Walmart that was just recently announced, which allows us to take the inventory that we have in Walmart fulfillment centers and use it to unlock all of our D2C, unlock other marketplace fulfillment, and really, again, be another viable option for us versus having to have multiple inventory pools that we're using. So it's been a game changer for Pattern. And honestly, it's just because of the relationship that we've had and the continued feedback as we go through. Lastly, I think I'm just gonna close on why, in my opinion, brands should be on Walmart. Right? It is the #2 e-commerce marketplace in the United States, triple-digit growth, and in my mind, it comes down to control. If you're a brand, you need to control the experiences with your products, and if you're not there, somebody else will be. It just may not be the experience that you want your customers to have, and it really comes down to control. So that's honestly my biggest message to our brands all the way through is if you are not there representing yourself, you're leaving the door open for somebody else too. And lastly, competition's good. We love the fact that there are multiple options for us from a fulfillment perspective. Where should we be storing? What is the most cost effective? Who can get that to the customer by the guaranteed delivery date? So thank you, Jare. We appreciate it.
Thank you, George. We love your guys' partnership. You know that. Yeah. Good. So again, I mentioned I lead Walmart Fulfillment Services. That's the capability where you as a brand or a seller can be selling on our marketplace, take advantage of Walmart's scale, and we can actually deliver on your behalf your packages to your customers. That can be on 2-day, it's same day and moving to actually, or from next day and then moving actually to same day. That means Walmart WFS or Walmart Fulfillment Services, we actually also manage all of the returns on your behalf as well. And our favorite part, even since we launched over the 2 years, we continue to see that this number stabilize and be the same, which is that generally when customers, brands, sellers put their products into WFS, they see on average a 50% lift in sales. And we're really excited about that and create this opportunity for more brands and sellers to reach customers. You can work with Marketplace and have your products there and in our stores, or have some combination of the two, whatever kind of works best for your organization. So with that, I just want to close and say thank you for the opportunity to be here. I hope through this presentation you've learned more about Walmart, who we are, what we do, and what we're about. And most importantly, that you can start to reimagine maybe what's possible for you and your company to work with Walmart. Thank you.